Hello friends and welcome back. In this video we'll talk about confusing subordinate clauses. That means while identifying the subordinate clauses, sometimes we get confused as to which of these is a noun clause, which of these is an adjective clause, or which of these is an adverb clause. So we'll try to understand those examples which create the confusions. In the last video, we have seen noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. This video is specifically dedicated to the examples of the confusions. So let's begin. There are three types of confusions according to me. First confusion is confusion between nominal finite that clause and relative clause introduced with the help of relative pronoun that. Let's have a look at these two examples. I told Jack that it was his house. The second example is it is the house that Jack built. If you look at the first example, it is I told Jack that it was his house. That it was his house is a subordinate clause, but as it is functioning at the place of a noun, it is called noun clause. And as it is introduced with the help of that, it is conjunction that, in fact, as it is introduced with the help of conjunction that, it becomes a nominal finite that clause. Look at the second example. It is the house that Jack built. Now, in this sentence, that Jack built is also a subordinate clause, but it is not a nominal clause because function of that Jack built is that of an adjective because it post-modifies the house. House is actually a noun, it is an antecedent, and that Jack built is giving additional information about the noun house. Therefore, it is a relative clause as this whole clause relates back to the noun house, the antecedent noun house. Hope the point is clear. Let's have a look at the second example. He told that it was a good story. And he told the story that was good. In the first example, he told that it was a good story. That it was a good story is again a nominal finite that clause because it functions as a noun in the sentence. Its function is that of a noun in this sentence. For example, that it was a good story functions as an object of this sentence, and only noun can function as an object of the sentence. Therefore, it becomes finite that clause, nominal finite that clause, or noun finite that clause. Now, let us look at the second example. He told the story that was good. Now, that was good is again a subordinate clause in this sentence, but it is related to the story. As it is related to the story, it becomes a relative clause because that was good post modifies the story, noun story in fact, and it is called antecedent. This is what you have to remember. If the clause speaks about the antecedent noun, it becomes a relative clause, and if it speaks independently in the sentence as an object, subject, or the complement, it becomes a noun clause. This you have to understand. This was the first confusion. I hope it's clear to you. Now, let's move on to the confusion number 2. Confusion number 2 is the confusion between nominal finite WH clause and relative clause introduced with the help of WH word and adverb clause of time, because adverb clause of time is also introduced with the help of a WH word. So this can also be a confusion. We have to understand three different clauses. See these examples. The first example is the teacher told what I didn't know. And the second example is the teacher told the fact which I didn't know. Now, look at the first sentence. The teacher told what I didn't know. What I didn't know is the subordinate clause, and it is nominal finite WH clause in the first sentence because it is independently functioning as a noun, in fact, as an object of the sentence. Now, look at the second sentence. The teacher told the fact which I didn't know. In the sentence, teacher told the fact which I didn't know. Which I didn't know is again a subordinate clause, but it is a relative clause because it is related to the noun fact. As it post-modifies the noun fact, it becomes a relative clause. Similarly, look at this example. She told me when she had left the class. She told me when she had left the class. And look at the second sentence. She told me the reason which made her leave the class. In the sentence, she told me when she had left the class. When she had left the class is a subordinate clause, but it is a nominal finite WH clause, while in the second sentence, she told me the reason which made her leave the class. Which made her leave the class is again a subordinate clause, but it is not a nominal clause. It is a relative clause because it relates to the antecedent reason, antecedent noun reason. As it post-modifies the noun reason, it is related to the reason. It is the part of the noun phrase. Therefore, it is a relative clause that we have to understand. We have seen the examples of confusion between nominal finite WH clause and a relative clause introduced with the help of WH word. Now let's move on to the next example. She told me when I was leaving the class. In the sentence, she told me when I was leaving the class. When I was leaving the class is a subordinate clause. Of course, it is introduced with the help of WH word, but the function of this clause is that of an adverb in this sentence. It is neither of a noun or of an adjective or of the post modifier. It is the function of an adverb in this sentence. Therefore, it is adverb clause, and as it indicates the time of telling, it is called adverb clause of time. Have a look at another set of interesting examples here. See the first one. I don't know which book is better. I don't know which book is better. In this sentence, which book is better is a nominal WH clause, while the second sentence is I know the book which is better. In the sentence, I know the book which is better is the relative clause. So this is the confusion that we have to understand. You can search for a few more examples and try to locate the classes and classify them into their appropriate categories so that you understand them, because practice makes man perfect. Okay, let's move on to the confusion number 3. Confusion number 3 is confusion between nominal finite WH clause introduced with the help of if and adverb clause of condition. Adverb clause of condition is also introduced with the help of if, and nominal finite WH clause is sometimes also introduced with the help of if. Let's have a look at these examples. See the first one, I don't know if he is coming tomorrow, and the second is I'll go if he is coming tomorrow. In both the sentences, if he is coming tomorrow is functioning as the subordinate clause. But in the first sentence, that is I don't know if he is coming tomorrow, if he is coming tomorrow is functioning as a nominal clause. Nominal finite WH clause. The same sentence can be written as I don't know whether he is coming tomorrow. Now let's look at the second sentence carefully. The second sentence is different from the first sentence, because in the second sentence is I'll go if he is coming tomorrow. In the second sentence, if he is coming tomorrow is actually a condition. A condition, and earlier is the statement I'll go on the condition if he is coming tomorrow. Therefore, it is called adverb clause of condition because it speaks about the verb go. When will I go? If he is coming tomorrow. So that is the condition for going, and therefore it is an adverb because it qualifies the verb and not the noun, and therefore it is called adverb clause of condition. This is the basic confusion that you have to understand. Let's see another example. She did not tell if she would accept the proposal. And the second sentence is I'll be very happy if she accepts the proposal. Now look at the difference between these two sentences. In the sentence, she did not tell if she would accept the proposal. If she would accept the proposal is a subordinate clause functioning as the noun. Noun, in fact, object. And in the second sentence, I'll be very happy if she accepts the proposal. If she accepts the proposal is the reason for being happy. Reason for being happy. So it's an adverb clause of condition. These were the basic differences between the adverb, adjective and noun clauses. I hope you have understood them. In the next video, we'll talk about the form and function of the adverb clauses. Thanks for watching.